Hello everybody, my name is Alpha November Tango Hotel Oscar November Yankee, and today I'll be talking about the NATO phonetic alphabet. The NATO phonetic alphabet is arguably the most famous phonetic alphabet ever to be created. You've no doubt heard at least one letter from it, maybe in a movie, or a video game, or maybe at your job. Regardless, it's used a lot in popular culture and everyday life. But just in case you don't know what it is, I'll explain before we get started. The NATO phonetic alphabet is a phonetic alphabet used by NATO and by international aviation, where instead of a letter, a word is used. So, Alpha for A, Bravo for B, Charlie for C, and so forth. It's used to prevent miscommunication because it allows you to spell out words so that they can be understood even if there's background noise or a language barrier making understanding them difficult. And if you don't know what NATO is, NATO, which stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a military alliance established in 1949 consisting of the United States, Canada, and the majority of Europe. So then, now that that's been explained, let's talk about where the NATO phonetic alphabet comes from. While the currently used alphabet was adopted in 1956, phonetic alphabets have been used by the United States and around the world for much longer. In the 1920s, the world's first internationally recognized phonetic alphabet was established by the International Telecommunications Union, using names of cities for its letters. In 1941, the United States adopted its own phonetic alphabet for use by its military, the Abel-Baker alphabet. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. In fact, the British adopted it soon after, in 1943. The Abel-Baker alphabet grew even more popular after the war, being adopted for aviation all over the world, and by NATO at its conception. One major complaint still remained. The language was very English-sounding, and some sounds were unique to the English language. As a solution, a modified alphabet, Ana Brazil, was created for Latin America, but it was eventually abandoned when the International Air Transport Association decided that it wanted one standardized alphabet. In 1948, the International Civil Aviation Organization, or the ICAO, worked with Jean-Paul Venet, who was a professor of linguistics at the University of Montreal, to create a new alphabet, one that would work for everybody. There were three criteria for a word to be included. It had to be used in each of the three languages the alphabet was being based on, French, Spanish, and English. It had to be easily pronounceable, and it could not have any negative meaning. This new alphabet was accepted on November 1st, 1951, and came into use by civilian aviation on April 1st, 1952. This alphabet is similar to today's NATO alphabet, but at the time, militaries still used the Abel-Baker alphabet. The United States and the United Kingdom were in charge of an effort to review the Abel-Baker alphabet. Changes were submitted to the ICAO that proposed replacing the letters of their alphabet for C, M, N, U, and X, even though a debate was going on whether to change the word for N to nectar or November. While the ICAO reviewed the proposal, the NATO Military Committee announced on the 8th of April 1955 that no matter what the ICAO decided, the alphabet would be adopted by NATO on the 1st of January 1956. This, however, caused an odd situation, as NATO members didn't want to adopt an alphabet until the ICAO approved it, meaning that if they had denied it, NATO command would be the only users of the alphabet. But nothing came from this, as the ICAO approved the alphabet a little bit later, using November for N. On the 21st of February 1956, NATO let its members know that on March 1st they would be adopting the alphabet. The International Telecommunications Union adopted the alphabet a few years later, making the alphabet the universal phonetic alphabet for civilian communication too. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. If my professional level narration has caused you to become interested in this topic, then I recommend you do some further digging on your own. Thanks for watching, and out.